Hey, how you doing? Chris Verselli here. Thanks a lot for coming by my website and checking out this free exercise video. If you're here because you saw my article in the latest issue of Totally Tennis magazine, then you know that I will be talking about the pectoralis major muscle and how to strengthen it to protect the rotator cuff. If you're not here because of that, then feel free to continue to watch because this will still help you to prevent an injury in your rotator cuff muscles. So, as I mentioned in the previous video, the rotator cuff muscles are actually 4 muscles of the shoulder that help control the smaller, more finite movements of our shoulder. They're kind of the little steerers and stabilizers of our shoulder joint. The bigger muscles are the ones that actually participate the most in some of the big motions that we do, like we would do in tennis or in other sports or even in exercise. So these bigger muscles are really the ones that are going to be primarily carrying the load of those movements and those activities that we do. And the rotator cuff muscles are going to be kind of helping to steer the joint as we go through those different movements. Now, typically when the bigger muscles of the shoulder are weak, the rotator cuff muscles have to work exceptionally harder in order to accomplish the movement. Okay, and so everything's kind of working together. And so if one thing's not pulling its weight, something else has to work harder. This is just how human mechanics work. So what we want to focus on is we want to focus on strengthening these bigger muscles of the shoulder so that the rotator cuff never is overworked. Okay, now last time I talked about the upper trapezius muscle and how to strengthen that. This video should be below this one. If you're watching this on my webpage, you can scroll down and check that out if you haven't already. And today I'm going to talk about the pectoralis major, which is the main muscle that helps pull our arm across our body. Okay, that's its primary function. Now it also plays a big role in rotation, internal rotation specifically, so that's going to definitely come into play with the service motion and even some of the motions that we might do going across our body, but not actually pulling our arm all the way across. So this is going to be playing a big role in a lot of the tennis movements that we do. And I'm going to show you where this is on my buddy Barry Bones here, so you can get a better idea of where it is and what it does. So I'm using my trusty rubber bands to kind of depict this. So the pectoralis major is all along your sternum here, and then it's along your collarbone as well. Now this is just going to depict one portion of it, okay, because it's actually a big broad muscle that goes all the way down here, but this is just kind of one little strand of it that you can look at to kind of get an idea of what it does. So it connects here to your humerus bone. And as you can see, as you pull between the two ends, your arm actually comes across. Okay, so that's the main function that we want to be training it to do better. Okay, so what we're going to do to strengthen this muscle is we're going to use an isometric contraction. Okay, isometrics are different than traditional exercise because traditional exercise uses movement in its execution. Okay, now there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally fine. That actually is an important part of an exercise program for the various muscles in our body. But isometrics have a special role in helping to strengthen for the purpose of preventing injury. They can help to create more joint stability and more intrinsic muscle control in various positions, and they can actually boost muscle performance so that the injury risk goes down. Okay, so that's what we want to focus on with this, and now you can incorporate this into your other exercises as well. Okay, so what we're going to do to start with is we're going to do an isometric for the pec in the position that I just mentioned, going across the body. Okay, so what we're going to do to start is you're going to stick your arm straight out ahead of you. Okay, I'll turn to the side so you can see where I am. And then you're going to actually rotate your arm in. Okay, so your biceps are actually going to be facing more downward. Okay, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to do this. Okay, that's too much. I want you to just rotate in just enough so that your shoulder doesn't come up. Okay, so just rotate in, and now go ahead and pull across. Okay, now once you get across your body a little bit, then I want you to put your other hand on your bicep and push into that hand. Okay, now what you're going to feel here is you're going to feel this muscle right here, your pectoralis major. Okay, so you're going to push in. I want you to hold that for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and relax. Okay, now you're going to come into that same position again, okay, but this time you're going to actually position your hand kind of down here, and you're going to push down and in, okay? So if you were to move in this direction, you would move this way, okay? So you're going to have your arm position right here, and you're going to push down and in, okay? So one is straight in, one is down and in, okay? Now you're going to feel kind of the lower portion of your pectoralis major contracted with this one. Hold that for a count of 10. Okay, and then the last one that you're going to do is with the hand positioned here, and you're going to actually push up and in. Okay, so if you were moving, you'd be traveling in this direction. Okay, so you're going to push up and in for a count of 10 and relax. Okay, I want you to do 3 sets of those. Okay, so you're going to do 3 different repetitions. One going in, one going down and in, and one going up and in, okay? 3 different repetitions, each one 10 seconds long, okay? Now, how hard are you supposed to push? Well, progressively harder with each successive set. So in the first set, just push really light, really gently, you know, just enough to feel a squeeze. On the second set, maybe about 50% of your maximum effort should go into that squeeze. And on the third set, all your effort, pushing really hard. Okay, now one thing to point out, make sure that your resistance hand is on your bicep, not on your forearm, okay? Because if it's on your forearm, your tendency is going to want to be to do this and pull with your forearm rather than with your upper arm, okay? And that'll incorporate more elbow muscles rather than shoulder muscles, okay? So you can do this once a day, okay, preferably before you go and play tennis, or you can incorporate it with your other exercises that you currently do at the gym, okay? And just to make clear, if you do any movement exercises for this muscle, you're going to need to be pulling across your body, okay? So maybe that's with a rubber band or a cable, or maybe even with dumbbells or something like that, but that's going to be how you're going to work that with movement, okay? So the focus on these isometrics help to get some more stability there and strength to your pectoralis major, protect that rotator cuff muscle group, and help prevent an injury. Okay, now one thing to point out, that some people have more complicated muscular issues that will be solved through just doing some exercises like these. Okay, for some people this will be enough. For some it just takes a lot more in-depth analysis, testing, and actually treating of individual muscle weaknesses in order to gain the strength and stability that they need to prevent an injury or possibly recover from one. Okay, so if you're currently struggling with an injury, or if you have some prior history of injury, or just some stuff going on there that may be a little more complex than what maybe some of your friends or most people would have going on, definitely get a copy of my book that's on this website. Okay, download that and read it, because that's going to tell you a lot more about the specific muscle issues that are probably contributing to your current problem. Okay, so definitely download that, read it. You'll also get a series of articles that will help to explain that a little bit more. And then after you read that, then you can decide whether you want to go another step further and actually come in and talk to me. Okay, so hopefully you find that helpful. I know if you do it, it'll definitely be a benefit to you. Give me some feedback on it. Ask me any questions that you want as well through email, chris@nonfictionfitness.com. And till next time, be healthy, be happy, be strong, and keep playing. All right? Have a great day. God bless.